Welcome everyone. So in this session we are going to take up demultiplexer. Demultiplexer, we can assume it to be something like the reverse of multiplexer. So multiplexer had 2 to the power of n inputs and 1 output. So demultiplexer will be having 1 input and 2 to the power of n outputs. The number of select lines will be n select lines. So 1 input, 2 to the power of n output and 1 select line. If I rewrite it, for a mux had 1 input, 2 to the power, mux had 2 to the power of n inputs, 2 to the power of n inputs, n select lines and 1 output. This is what the mux had, 2 to the power of n input lines, 1 select line, n select line and 1 output. Now if you take a demux will be it is processing the reverse of a multiplexer. A demux will be having 1 input changes to output, 1 input, 2 to the power of n outputs. So we'll be having 2 to the power of n outputs and n select lines. N select lines. This is how a demultiplexer will be having. Now let us see the generalized architecture or the functional architecture for a demultiplexer. So demultiplexer will be taking a data input. The data bit can be either 0 or 1. Whatever we consider is based on this select value, whatever is your data input will be available at the output. So we write O0 is equal to D. O1 will be equal to D. On minus 1 will be equal to D based on your combination of the select line. Now here I have a 1:2 demux. So before this, let us see how the architecture for a 1:2 demux works. Now let us see a demux. So this is a 1:2 demux. Okay. Now 1:2 demux. First let me take a 1:2 demux. 1:2 demux will be having 1 input and 1 select line, and there will be 1 output Y. 2 outputs because it is a 1:2 demux, Y0 and Y1. Now here, when your select line is 0, whatever is there in D will be selected. So let me give an input. This is my input, whatever I am giving. So this is the input. Let us label this input as D. D or data input also we can take. D is the input. I'll be having one more control line. So this is the select line. 1:2 demux will be having 1 select line only. So this, let me label it as S, which is nothing but the select line. So S I will keep. Okay, then we'll be having 2 outputs, Y0 and Y1. So let me make it as Y0. This is Y0, and let me have one more one, Y1. This is Y0. This is Y1. So here I will label it as Y0. And here I will label it as Y1. Now if you see the working of demux, when your select line is 0, where will your output be available? Output will be available in Y0. So when your select line is 0, whatever is there in D will be available in Y0. If D is 0, 0 will be available. If D is 1, 1 will be available. If your select line is 1, whatever is available in D will be available at Y1. So if D is 0, Y1 will be equal to 0. If D is 1, Y1 will be equal to 1. This is a 1:2 demux. So if you modify the truth table, what happens? When select line is 0, whatever is there in D will be available in Y0. So what is your value of D? D is 0, so Y0 will be equal to 0. Others, we are not interested in Y1. Now when select line is 1, where will your output be available? Output will be available in Y1. What is the value of D? D is 0. So Y1 will be equal to 0. Next, when select line is equal to 0 again, Y0 will be activated. The output will be available in Y0. So what is your data input? 1. So Y0 will be equal to 1. When select line is 1, whatever is there in D will be available in Y1. So this will be equal to 1. All other cases we are not interested at all. We are only interested with the output combination. We can retain it as 0, 0, 0 also, no problem. Okay. Now if you write the Boolean expression, what happens to the Boolean expression? Y0 will be equal to D into S bar. What is Y1? Two outputs are there. So Y1 is equal to, here if you can see, Y1 will be equal to D into S. So how did I get the output? We are simplifying the Boolean expression. So this is Y0. What is Y0 equal to? D into S bar. This is Y1. What is Y1 equal to? So our output will depend on Y0 and Y1. I have Y0, Y0, Y1, two outputs we have. So we'll get the expression Y0 is equal to D into S bar, and the next one is Y1 is equal to D into S. This is related to the expression. We can also add one enable over here. If you add an enable, the circuit will be activated when enable is equal to 1 if it is an active I device, and you will get an output. So this will be equal to into enable if the circuit is using enable. So this will be into enable into enable. So this is with respect to 1:2 demarcs. Now we'll see a 1:4 demarcs. The next example is a 1:4 demarcs. Similar to using mux, you can use demarcs to build hierarchical architectures also. As of now, we'll see a 1:4 demarcs. So when you see a 1:4 demarcs, also when you're building a 1:2 demarcs, from the Boolean expression, you should also be able to draw the logic diagram. I gave the Boolean expression for Y0 is equal to D into S bar, and for Y is equal to D into Y1 D into S1. S1. Yes. So you have to draw the Boolean, you have to draw the logic diagram utilizing the Boolean expressions. Now we are going to see a 1:4 demarcs. So I have a demarcs. It is a 1:4 demarcs. So 1:4 demarcs means 4 outputs. 4 outputs requires 2 control signals. So 4 output will require 2 control signals. So let us write the outputs first. This will be Y0. This will be Y1. Next I have Y2. And next I'll be having Y3. So here I have Y0, Y1, Y2 and Y3. There will be only one input, which is D. D can take the value either 0 or 1. Now this is a single bit what I'm taking. D is 1 bit. D can also be multiple bits. In that case, your output should also be multiple size enabled output. So now if you go to the thing, I have to give the control signal. So I have a control signal over here. Control signal is 2-bit in size. So it is a 2-bit control signal. Okay. Now what happens? This is D. Okay, let us label it. And this is D, and this is S1 comma S1 comma S0 I will write, so that it is understood. First one is S1, and this, let me label it as Y0. This is Y1, this is Y2, and the last one is Y3. Now what happens whenever you give a combination of 0, 0, whatever is available in D, the data input will be available across Y0. So if I give a 0, I'll get a 0. If I give a 1, I'll get a 1. So generally what we write when S is equal to 0, S is equal to 0, 0, we write Y0 is equal to 0, 0. Y0 is equal to D. So let me write the truth table in a different format. First, let me write whatever we'll get, then we'll go for the truth table, simplified version of the truth table. So here I have how many inputs I'll be having. One input is D, there's another input S1, and the last input is S0. And what is the output we have? Y0, comma, Y1, comma, Y2, comma, Y3. Okay. So this is the Boolean logic table what we have. Now when D is 0, forget about D. When S is 0, 0, what will be 1? Y0 will be 1. Y0 will be having the D value. So D is 0, Y0 will be 0. When S is 0, 1, Y1 will be whatever is D. D is having 0, so this is 0. 1, 0, so Y2 will be 0. 1, 1, Y2 is 0. This is 0 because it represents D. And next, when it is 0, 0, D is 1. So this will be 1, this will be 1, this will be 1, and this will be 1. We are not worried about the other cases. Okay, you can make it as 0, X, Z, whatever you want, you can do it. We are only interested in whatever value is required. We can make this as Z. We can leave it as floating. Okay, this is what we are going to get. Now we can also simplify and write the Boolean table. So when you simplify and write the Boolean table, how will the table look? So the table will have only select inputs S1 and S0. It will have only select input S1 and S0, and the output will be equal to Y0, because 4 outputs are there, Y1, Y2 and Y3. Now what is the combination? When S is 0, 0, Y0 will be D. D can either be 0 or D can either be 1. Remaining in all other combination, it is left to your choice. So I will make it as D or 0 or Z. So currently I'll take it as 0, 0, 0. This 0 doesn't mean that it is D is equal to 0. It only means that fixed 0. Then when it is 0, 1, when S is 0, 1, Y0 will be D, this will be D, this will be 0, and Y3 will be 0. So when it is 1, 0, when it is 1, 0, I'll be having a 0. You can even write a Z or X also. So this will be again a 0. When it is 1, 0, Y2 will be having the value what is there in D. D can either be 0 or 1. And this will be 0. When it is 1 and 1, so this will be 0. I'll have a 0 over here. This will also be a 0, and this will be equal to 0. This is with respect to the truth table. This is a simplified version of the Boolean logic table what I've written. We can also call this as the function table for 1:4 demux. We can also write this as function table for 1:4 demux. This can also be the function table. Okay, now next what I want to show you is what happens if you have an enable. So let me have an enable over here. What happens if I have an enable as one more input? If I have enable as input, so suppose I'm having an active high enabled. The device is active high enabled. So if it is active high enabled, when it is 1, it will be working. When this combination is 1, it works. Again, when the next combination is 1, it works. and when the list combination is 1, it works. But what happens when enable is 0? When enable is 0, irrespective of whatever may be your select lines. So when enable is 0, irrespective of whatever may be your select line, so here, irrespective of whatever is your select line, my output will be equal to Z. So when enable is equal to 0, you can either make the output Z or 0 again. So let me write it like this. When enable is 0, whatever may be your select line, irrespective of your select line, the output can be made Z, or it can be left floating, or you can take X, whatever is required, useful for you. So when enable is 0, I'll get an output like this. When enable is 0, our device will not work. Whatever may be a combination of select lines, we will not get an output. This is what it means. So this is a 1:4 demux. Now you should see how the circuit looks like for a 1:4 logic diagram for a 1:4 demux. Now how will you draw the logic diagram? When you're drawing the logic diagram, so first you have to select what is Y0. So Y0, Y1, Y2 and Y3. So what is our logic diagram now? I'll write the Boolean expressions. So Boolean expression Y0 will be equal to Y0 is equal to S1 bar into S0 bar into D because that is the data input what we have into D. Suppose if we have enable and it is an active high enable, it will be En. If it is an active low enable, you'll write it as En bar. Now it is an active high enable. Now what is our Y1 equal to? Y1 will be equal to S1. What is Y1 equal to? So if you can see here Y1 is equal to S1 bar into S0. S1 bar into S0 into D. D can either be 0 or 1. Similarly, write for Y2 and write for Y3. And you can draw the logic diagram for this circuit. So this is related to 1:4 demux. Now the next thing is we'll see how to implement hierarchical architectures. Let us see how to implement 1:8 demux using a 1:4 demux. Similar to how we implemented a multiplexer, higher order multiplexers. So 1:8 demux using a 1:4 demux. Now clearly I have 8 outputs. Here 4 output is there, here 8 output is there. So I need 2 demuxes, 2 1:4 demux. So let us take a 2 1:4 demux. So demux, demux. Both are 1:4. So this is a 1:4. Again, this is a 1:4 demux. Now, what about the input to both the demuxes? The input to both the demuxes is only one input, so I'll be having only one input. Because both you can see 1:4, 1:8. So this is the input. I can label it as D input or D. You can label it anyway. D I will label. Same input for both the demuxes. And here this goes to the input. Now what happens to the output? I have 8 outputs. So definitely I'll be having 8 outputs. So this is Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3 over here. And in the next combination, Y4, Y4, Y5, Y6 and Y7. So this is Y0, y1, y2, and here I'll be having a y3. See, this is 0, 1, 2, 3 because it is an inbuilt architecture. But what is the value that goes over there is important. So here we'll be having y5, sorry, y4. Here I have y5. And here I'll be having y6. And the last one is y7. So we'll have this one. Now what is required for us? We are interested in the control signals. So what is the size of this control signal? It is a 1:4 DMUX, means definitely this control signal should be 2 bits. So I have a control signal. This is the control signal. So this should be 2-bit in size. Same control signal. Because for a 1:4 DMUX, for a 1:8 DMUX, we may have 3 inputs, 3 select lines. Say 1:8 DMUX will have the select line S0, S1 and S2. Now 1:4 DMUX will be having 2 select lines. So I'll take S1 and S2 here and I'll give S0 to the enable. So what I'll do, I'll take S0 and S1 over here and I give, this is S1 and S2. So I have S1 and S2 over here. I've given S1 and S2. Now what about the S0? We will take an enable and give. So I have an enable. This is an enable signal. Since it is active high, let me make it as 1. I have an enable signal active high. Let me make it as 1. I will give the enable signal. So enable, I'll give the enable to a NOT gate, and that input goes to this particular mux. This is enable. What I'll do to the next mux, I'll take the enable directly. So I'll take the enable directly without any inputs, without any NOT gate. So I'll give directly to the second mux. This is the enable. So what happens when enable is 1, for the first 4 combinations, I'll get this output. For the next 4 combinations, the second mux will be working. So this is with respect to 1:8 DMUX using 1:4. You can design similar architectures also. Now, next, let us implement one Boolean expression using a 1:8 DMUX or 1:4 DMUX. Let us see what is the question we are going to take up. Now the next thing what we are going to do is implementing Boolean expressions using a DMUX. For this, what I'll do, I'll take an example of a full subtractor. So this example is implement a full subtractor using DMUX. This, instead of full subtractor, you can take any Boolean expression. So here I have a full subtractor. Implement a full subtractor using DMUX. The full subtractor has how many combinations? Full subtractor will be having 3 inputs, A, B, borrow in. So let us write it. The inputs to full subtractor definitely is A, B, borrow input. And what is the output of the full subtractor? The output of the full subtractor is D, borrow out. So I have 2 outputs. Output of the full subtractor is D, B out. Now input is 3 inputs. So what will be the number of select lines? Number of select lines will be n is equal to select lines. So select line is 3. Number of output combinations what you get is 8. Select lines will be 3. I'll get 8 output combinations. So the next one is I'll be getting 8 output combinations. So select line is 3. 8 output combinations will be available. So now let us see how to write this mux. Now this mux directly I'll implement using a 1:8 DMUX. So I have a mux over here. This is a DMUX. So 1:8 DMUX I have told. DMUX 3 control signals. Whatever is your input will be your control signal. So I have 3 control signals. 3 control signals are there. 8 outputs. What are the 8 outputs? In a demultiplex, in a full subtractor, you'll be having minterm 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You'll be having 2 sets of minterms, one for difference and one for borrow. So both you have to use. So let me write the table for. So if you take, I'll be having A, comma, B, comma, borrow input as the truth table inputs, and our outputs will be D, comma, B out. So 2 outputs I'll be having. Now this is the truth table. So what is the truth table? D, this value will be 0 according to full subtractor. So this is 1, this is 0, this is 1, this is 0, this is 0, and this is 1. And here I have a 0. Next combination is a 1. Next combination is a 1. This combination is 1. I have 0, 0, 0, and 1. So this is the truth table. Now this represents minterm 0. This represents minterm 1, minterm 2, minterm 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now if you see in the truth table, I'll be having 2 outputs, D and B out. So first let me give the input. There'll be only one input. So this is our input. Let me make this input as D and let me make it as 1. So this should be 1 and this is the input D. Now what happens to the output? I have 2 outputs. If you can see, I have 2 outputs. So the first output is D. D, what are the min terms for D? The min terms for D, if you can see, D is M1, M2, M4, and M7. So let us combine all those things and give it to an OR gate. So if you combine all those things and give it to an OR gate, I'll get a D. So I have an OR gate over here. Four values are there. So input size is 4. What is there? M1. The first input goes as M1. Second one is what? M2. Third one is what? M4. And what is the last one? M7. And if I give a gate over here, what is this? This is nothing but the output Y. So here our output is D. This is D. I've got the difference D. Similarly, I can write for borrow also. So how will I write for borrow? So borrow combinations will be whatever is the combinations for borrow, we have to select and write. So borrow is, if you can see in the truth table, it is M1, M2, M3, and M7. So it is a 4 input gate. So the first one to the borrow is M1. Second one to the borrow is M2. M1, M2, and the next one is M3. And the last one is M7. So M7, and here if I connect this gate, I'll be having the, so what is this? This will be B out. So let me write B out. So this is a B out. Now what about the control signals? We have to define the control signals. Now 3 control signals I'll be having, A, B, and B. So let me give a control signal, which is an input over here. And this clearly means that is according to the truth table, it is A, B and B. Give the control signals. Now this is how we are going to implement a full subtractor using 1:8 demux. Thank you. Now if you see the difference will be having M1, M2, M4 and M7. M1 is, all this will be connected to an OR gate, M1, M2, M4 and M7. Now DN should always be made 1. Okay. Now what is the combination? First combination will be 0, 0, 0. If I give 0, 0, 0, you can see the difference is 0. So the LED is not glowing. Suppose if I give 0, 0, 1, what happens? Difference should be 1. So the LED is glowing. Now if I give everything as 1, again the LED will glow for the difference. Similarly for B out, borrow out will be M1, M2, M3 and M7. So M1, M2, M3 and M7 we can connect and give it to an LED. We'll get the output for this full subtractor also. Now let us draw the circuit diagram for a demux. So here you can see this is a 1:4 demux. So when you're drawing the circuit diagram for 1:4 demux, truth table will be, I have D as one input, D in, A and B as one input. And okay, A and B is nothing but the select lines S0 and S1. And what about the outputs? 1:4 demux, Y0, Y1, Y2 and Y3. So this will be a 10 truth table what will be generated. Now when D is 0, S is 0, 0, Y0 will be 0. In the next combination Y1 is 0, this is 0 because D is 0, this is 0. Let us make the all other combinations as also 0. Now in the next combination, D is 1. So Y1, Y0 will be 1. Again here D is 1. For select line 0, 1, this will be equal to 1. This will be equal to 1, this will be equal to 1 and this will be equal to 1. All others we can make it as 0. Let us make it as 0. Now when you generate the truth table, simplify it. If you simplify it, what is Y0 equal to? You can see using K-map if you simplify, or directly also you can simplify. What is Y0 equal to? Y0 will be equal to, if you see in the truth table, there is only one combination for Y0, this particular value. This will be for Y1. Truth table we are writing it for 1. I mean the Boolean expressions will write it for 1. So what is Y0 equal to? Y0 is equal to D into S0 bar into S1. What is Y1 equal to? Y1 will be equal to D into S0 bar into S1. Similarly, you will get Y2 and Y3, the Boolean expressions. Now what we have to do, let us write the code for this 1:4 demux. Let us write the Verilog code and see whether it is working. Now coding for demux you can do using any of the modeling styles. I'll do using the data flow model because I have the expressions. Module demux. Now what are the inputs and outputs? List only the inputs and outputs in the module. Declare them as input and output in the next line. So my output I have Y0, Y1, Y2 is one output, Y3 is one output. Then I have my input D in, Then I have my select line S0 and S1. That's it. Next line only we should declare it as input so that it will avoid most of the errors. So now your input is D in, which is 1 bit. S0 also is 1 bit. S1 is 1 bit. So I've declared it also over here. Then I have the output. 4 outputs I have: Y0, Y1, Y2 and Y3. I told we are going to write it in data flow model. You can also write it in gate level model. No problem. Okay. So now let me write it in data flow model. So data flow model, what is the first output? Y0. Y0 is equal to, what is the expression? Y0 is equal to D in into AND gate. We had an AND gate over there. D in and S0 bar and S1 bar. So AND gate S0 bar, not of S0 I will write. So not of S0 and not of S1. So D in into S0 bar into S1 bar. Now what was our assign? Y1 equal to, Y1 is equal to D in and first combination was 0 0. Second combination is 0 1. So it is not of S0 and S1. What is the third one now? Assign Y2 is equal to D in and so here it is S0 and S1 bar. So it is not of S1. Assign Y3 will be equal to, what is Y3 equal to? D in and S0 and S1. So that's all, end module. You can also write it in behavioral model using if statement or case statement. How will you write the code using if statement? I will only give the logic, but not the complete coding. So how will you write? I'll just comment it out so that we can write it. So I will write it as always at inputs. Write input, or I can give star. The inputs are D in S0, S1 you can write, or I'm giving it as star. Then begin you will write. Then you will write if I will just concatenate it. Concatenate means I'm combining the bits. S0 comma S1 is equal to S0 comma S1 is equal to 2 tick B 0 0. So what does that mean? That means according to the truth table, if it is 0 0, the bits are 0 0, then what happens? Then our Y0 will be equal to D in. Again go with the next one, else if, and finally else the next line will be if S0 comma S1 will be equal to 2 tick B 0 1. So let me write this, I'll repeat it one more line. So the next line will be else if S0 comma S1 will be 1 0, then what is your output? Y0 will be Y1 is equal to D in. Else you can write it and complete the code. This is in data flow. This will be behavioral model. Now let us skip this. I'm not interested in this. I've written a data flow model coding. You can write it in gate level also. If you're writing in gate level code, how many gates you have? According to the diagram, I have 4 gates. So if I can project the gate. So I have 4 AND gates over here, and I'll be having 2 NOT gate. This gate will not be there. So I'll be having 4 AND gates and 2 NOT gates, and I can project it using gate level model. I can write the program using gate level model also. So now we have to write the test bench. So when you write the test bench, it will be module demux underscore test. Any module name you can give. All input should be declared as registers. So register din, comma, S0, comma, S1. All output should be declared as wire, Y0, comma, Y1, comma, Y2, comma, Y3. And next we have to go to initial. Before initialization, what is the important step? We have to instantiate the main module. So demux gate 1, the order will be Y0, comma, Y1, comma, Y2, comma, Y3, comma, din, comma, S0 and S1. So I've instantiated it in the same order. Then we'll go for your inputs. So now we are going to write the initial. Initial, so hash 0, let me take whatever is available in din will be available in Y0. So first I'll take din is equal to 0. Then in the same case I will give S0. I will give S0 is equal to 0, and in the same line I will give S1 is equal to 0. So what happens when you simulate it? If since your din is 0, S0 is 0, 0, what should my Y0 be equal to? My Y0 will automatically be equal to 0. I can also test it for 1 also. So let me test it for 1 also, so that I want to check whether it is working for both the cases. So what I'll do, hash 2 time units, I'll give din is equal to 1. So what happens after 2 time units, for the same combination I should get Y0 will be equal to 1. Next, say after 3 time units, din is 0, 0, so I can give 0, 1. Say din is 1, I will give it as 1, 0. You can give n number of combinations over here, making din 0 for both, for S0, S1, 0, 0. Again make din 1, S0, 0, S1, 0. Then make S0, 0, S1, 1. So 0, 1 combination. For 0, 1 combination, make it as 0, 1 combination. Give din is equal to 0 as well as din is equal to 1. Both you can check. Again for the next combination is 1, 0. For 1, 0 combination, again you can make din is 1 and din is 0. For both combinations you can check. You can check like this. So I'll get 16 4 2s are 8 combinations I may get. So you get it to, you can write all the conditions over here and check. As of now I'll check only for few conditions. There are multiple statements, so I need one begin and end. This is first initial. Then the second initial is to stop. Say hash 20 time units, $stop. These initials can be written in any order, need not write in the same order. Then there is a third initial. The third initial is for $monitor, because I need to print the statement $monitor. I need $time. Then I will write what do I have? I have Y0 is equal to %B. Then comma I have Y1 equals to %B. Then I have Y2 equal to %B. Then I also have y3 equal to percentage b. Then I should write about, this is y3, y0, y1, y2, y3. Then what I should see, I should visualize d in. So d in is equal to percentage b. Then I should also be able to see S0. S0 is equal to percentage b. Then I should also be able to see S1. S1 is equal to percentage b. So I'll end the codes. Okay. Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3. D in is equal to percentage b. S0 is equal to percentage b. S1 is equal to percentage b. Now what is that I should see? I should see Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3, or D in, S0 and S1. So this is how I'm going to see. This is my code. Then I will write end module. Now we can save and check it. So I will run it. Now I've run it. So what happens? In the first cycle, you can see over here, D in is 0 in the 12th line of the test bench. D in is 0, S0 is 0, S1 is 0. So when S0 is, the select line is 0, 0, whatever is there in D in will be available in Y0. So here in the test bench, in the simulation window, log window, if we can see in the log window, the first case will be over here. It is clearly telling S0 is 0, S1 is 0. When S0 is 0, S1 is 0, whatever is there in D in will be available in Y0. So Y0 is 0. If you take the next line, if you go to the next combination, the select line is again 0, 0. But what is the D in? D in is 1. So what happens? The output 1, data input 1 will be available in Y0. So Y0 is equal to 1. Again, if you take the third one, so 2 plus 3 will be 5. That's why it's at 5 time units over here. So 5 time units, select line is 1 and 0. So 1 and 0 and D in is 1. So where will your output be available? Output should be available in Y2. So output should be available in Y2. That is with respect to this line. It is executing this code with respect to this line, and this is where the test case is given. So this is how we have to map and see the output. Now all this is with respect to the coding of demux. Similarly, you can write codes for your 1:8 demux using 1:4 demux with having enable. So 2 demux you can have with an enable and instantiate. Write it using code level or gate level model. Instantiate it, and you can write the coding for 1:8 demux using 1:4 demux. The same code I will try to alter it for 1:8 demux using 1:4. So when I'm writing a 1:8 demux, I also require one enable. So I will write one enable. This is AND enable. This is AND enable. This is AND enable. 1:8 demux using 1:4. Now I have a 1:4 demux over here. If I have to design a 1:8 demux, I have to have two 1:4 demuxes. For 1:8 demux, I need to have a two 1:4 demux. You can refer to the block diagram. Earlier we have done it. So demux output will be for 1:8 demux. I have Y0 to Y7, three inputs A, B, and C. I'll also have one more input as D. Input A, B, C, and D in data input also is required. Output Y0 to Y7. Now, if you see the diagram, A bar goes as to the enable for the first mux. A goes to the enable of the second mux. So our demux gate 1 will be Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3. The output will be 4 outputs I have over here. Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3. Select line will be B and C. Input is D in. Enable is A bar. So Y0, demux G1, Y0, Y1, Y2, Y3. D in is the input. I'm matching this with this. Okay. D in is the input. In place of select line, what do I have? S0 and S1, I have B and C. In place of enable, what do I have? I have the signal A bar. Then go to the second demux. So now what happens? We were continuing with demux G2. Demux G2, the inputs will be Y4, Y5, Y6 and Y7. That is the input to the second demux. Then in D in place, D in only I'll have. What is the select line? Select line is B and C only for both the mux. What goes to the enable? B goes to the enable. A goes to the enable. A goes to the second enable. A bar goes to the first mux, demux enable. And end module. So now what did I do? I instantiated a 1:4 demux. I kept in, if you see the circuit was, I instantiated this one. This is a 1:4 demux. Only thing is I mapped what went to the select line was B and C, what went to the enable was A bar. D in is D in only. In the same mux, demux only 1:4, which I already have. I've instantiated this over here. But what is changing is output is Y4, Y5, Y6 and Y7. Select line is B0, BC and D in is D in only. But what goes to the enable over here? Directly A goes to the enable. So the same thing I've done and I've written the program. This is instantiating and writing. You can use smaller design to implement higher designs. And next you can verify with the test bench. You can redo the test bench, edit the test bench, and you can verify and check if you're getting the results for 1:8 demux. This is all about demux. Thank you.